Persecution as a pattern, not an accident. Welcome back. I am Adeline Atlas, 11 times published author, and this is the Greats series, where we discuss the greatest minds to ever live and what it means to be intellectually gifted. The persecution of genius is not random, nor is it an occasional quirk of history. It is a pattern one so consistent that it should be studied as rigorously as any scientific law. Every great, without exception, endures ridicule, rejection, or outright destruction before their work is accepted. The names change, the centuries change, the tools of mockery change, but the pattern itself does not. The predictable sequence. Look closely at the timeline of brilliance and you see the same sequence repeated across disciplines and eras. The spark. A new idea, a disruptive invention, or an unconventional expression emerges. The rejection society brands it impossible, foolish, or heretical. The individual is mocked, pathologized, or punished. The withdrawal. The genius retreats into solitude, forced into exile either by choice or persecution. The breakthrough. The idea proves itself, often posthumously, shifting culture, science, or art forever. This sequence is not accidental. It is the cultural immune system at work. Society resists anything that threatens its equilibrium, whether that is new technology, new philosophy, or new art. The genius is the antigen, and persecution is the reflexive defense. Historical examples. Galileo Galilei was placed under house arrest by the Inquisition for daring to confirm that the Earth revolves around the sun. His crime was seeing what was true too soon. Nikola Tesla died impoverished, his patents stolen, his inventions mocked as fantasy only to become the blueprint for modern electricity, wireless communication, and renewable energy. William James Sidis, perhaps the most intelligent mind measured, IQ 250-300, was hounded by the press, ridiculed into hiding, and erased from cultural memory. His mathematical work remains unmatched in originality. Lady Gaga, mocked in college with a Facebook group titled Stefani Germanotta, You'll Never Be Famous, went on to become the first woman in history to win an Oscar, Grammy, BAFTA, and Golden Globe in the same year. Her mockers paid for tickets to her concerts. These are not isolated incidents. They form a continuous lineage of resistance to brilliance. Why persecution happens, disruption of norms. Genius destabilizes what feels safe. Tesla's visions undermined energy monopolies. Galileo's telescope shattered theological cosmology. Cities threatened academia's hierarchy. Threat to ego. Ordinary minds feel diminished in the presence of extraordinary insight. The instinctive response is not curiosity, but attack. Mockery becomes a weapon to level the playing field. Power protection. Institutions benefit from the status quo. Churches, governments, corporations, and media have repeatedly branded innovators as dangerous, not because they were wrong, but because they were uncontrollable. From ridicule to reverence. The transformation from madness to genius is always retrospective. At the time, Tesla was a lunatic. Einstein was dismissed as a distracted patent clerk. Van Gogh was insane. Gaga was a joke. It is only after the breakthrough that culture rewrites the story, erases the ridicule, and installs the same individuals in museums, textbooks, or award shows. The same crowd that once shouted "fool" later lines up to say "visionary." The pattern is cruel but reliable. Persecution is the prelude to legacy. The cost of the pattern. While history redeems the genius, it often does so too late. CDs died in obscurity. Van Gogh never witnessed the value of his art. Tesla's notebooks were seized and buried. The cultural immune system may eventually accept the antigen, but only after the damage has been done to the carrier. This raises the real question: how many breakthroughs were silenced entirely? How many potential Einsteins, Teslas, or Gagas gave up before history could vindicate them? What genius never became legacy because persecution crushed the fragile spark before it ignited? Persecution is not accident, it is algorithm. It is the historical script that every innovator is forced to play. Once you recognize it, the pattern stops feeling personal. It is not you who is being rejected. It is the unfamiliar future you carry. Every great proves the same point. The jeers come before the cheers. the exile before the empire, the rejection before the recognition. The mockery is not a sign you are wrong. It is the strongest evidence that you are early.